Hello, everyone. Welcome to another BDPA Tech and Career Talk. I am your Tech and Career Talk leader, Devin Jenkins, serve as an IT business partner for commercial operations for U.S. and Canada at GE Healthcare, and am also the founder CEO of Share the Vibes LLC. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina, joining you today from Atlanta, Georgia, though. So glad to have you with us. Let us know where you're joining from in the comments. We always like to know who we have with us. Watching with us because we're a big family. And people join from all over, so we always like to know who's in the room with us. So let us know in the comments where you're joining us from today. We do apologize for the delayed start. We're having some technical challenges. I'm in the back end today, but we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to get through this. So thanks for rocking with us. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, click that bell so you know when we're posting or when we're live. And share this live. Share this to your timeline. I'm sure this with people who you know need to hear this conversation because it is going to be a great one today. So let us know where you're joining from in the comments. I look forward to seeing those coming through. Before we jump into today's speaker, I always like to give a little bit of an overview of BDPA, who we are, what we're all about, as well as this Tech and Career Talk platform. Um, so we're going to jump in with that, and then we'll bring on our speaker, and we will get going today. So BDPA, founded in 1975 as Black Data Processing Associates. The organization was founded as a way to continue to build the African American talent pipeline in the technology industry. We do that with a focus on developing computer programming skills, soft skills, preparing our youth for careers in technology, starting as early as the middle school level. And that carries on through the collegiate level and in the professional world. So we have opportunities for people, regardless of where you're at in your career, whether you're a student trying to figure out what you want to do, whether you're early to mid-career or you're a senior executive on the verge of retirement. BDPA has something for you as it relates to technology. So glad to have you with us. This Tech and Career Talk platform. These take place on the second and fourth Friday of each month from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. And we bring in a range of speakers speaking on a range of topics, all related to technology and or careers in general. So we've talked about brain-machine interaction. We've discussed AI and cybersecurity. We've talked about emotional intelligence. We've talked about LinkedIn and resumes. So we give you quite the range, regardless of where you're at on that spectrum. You can get value in the conversations we have. So glad to have you with us. I'm super excited for today's conversation. Before we bring our speaker on, there's one more thing I have to bring up. We are, I think, a little under 2 months away from this year's BDPA National Conference. We will be in Indianapolis, July 15th through the 18th. I'm at the Hyatt Regency, so super excited for this year's conference. Our first kind of phase of speakers was just announced a few days ago. Some big names in there. Then we got Larry Quinlan, former global CIO of Deloitte, and Tim Coleman was in there, former CIO of Eli Lilly, some other senior leaders. So that it's going to be a great time, a great lineup of speakers. The Indiana Black Expo is going on that week too, so it is going to be an amazing time in Indianapolis, July 15th through the 18th. So scan that QR code right there in the corner. Make sure you get registered for this year's conference. We can't wait to see you there. It is going to be a blast. So with that being said, I'm going to bring on our speaker, Mr. Godbless Pelpuo, who is going to talk through impactful leadership in the age of AI and automation. Let me get Godbless up here. Have Godbless, and we're going to give the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Devin. Thank you for the introduction. I really, really do appreciate it. I want to begin by sharing two things. First of all, I'm excited to be here. And secondly, I am humbled to also be here. So excited because I get the opportunity to, share with people, learn from them so that we can all grow as individuals to become better versions of ourselves. But secondly, I'm humbled to realize that BDPA has made massive impacts for over 5 decades now, which goes far and wide to show the extent to which you guys are putting in hard work and dedication to make such a great impact. And that is something that I really, really do respect. And it humbles me as an individual to also, put up a good work to help other people one way or the other. Um, to begin with, if you heard what Devin said about me, my name is Godbless Pelpuo. I'm the founder and president of Brink Global Incorporated. Brink is a non-profit organization that I started earlier this year. Our main goal is simple as an organization to help young people, specifically from high school through college, to discover and lead purposeful lives. We strongly believe as an organization that anytime the purpose of a thing is unknown, abuse of that thing becomes inevitable, right? So, for example, when people get into positions of power and they don't know the purpose of power, they tend to abuse it. And also, when something as useful as social media, where everyone is supposed to go there to socialize, to connect, to know people, and form relationships all over the world, when people don't know the purpose of it, they tend to use it to spread hate and bigotry and misinformation, right? The same applies to life. Whenever, as individuals, we don't know the purpose of our lives, we tend to use our lives anyway, anyhow. We tend to trivialize our lives and then abuse it one way or the other. So, as an organization, our aim is simple: to help young people to realize that, first of all, your life is important, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you believe in, or even if you don't believe in anything. Our goal is to help you realize that, first of all, your life is important. And secondly, your life has a definite purpose and meaning. You were not born on this earth to do everything. You are here to accomplish a particular goal, to fulfill a particular purpose, which is beautiful and unique to you. So that is what we stand for, and I hope we can also make great and impactful strides as the way BDPA has been able to make over the last 5 decades. Let's jump straight to business. If you are like myself, you tend to kind of pay close attention to detail, right? And so for today's flyer, on top of it, there's a very beautiful inscription that is written, which says, "Innovation in motion, keeping pace with emerging trends." Innovation in motion, keeping pace with emerging trends. And the second part, actually, I love it. It blows me away because almost everyone here would agree with me that one of the most dominant forces in our world today, or dominant trends in our world today, is artificial intelligence, AI. And you and I know the kind of impact and strides that AI has made on all human endeavors. I mean, all human endeavors, from music to arts to sports to education to security to politics to whatever, name it. You can find the fingerprints of AI on it, right? So that kind of puts our generation at such a crucial moment in time. It goes to show such change that is happening at our day and age, right? So this makes us understand and question ourselves. So one of the questions that I tend to hear most of the time is regards to what AI will do to us. So you hear questions like, is AI good or bad? What impact, what net impact is AI going to have on humanity in the near future? Is AI going to take our jobs? Is AI going to do this? That's a whole lot of AI going to do something to us. But I want us to step back further and realize, how are we going to live? The question that I'm posing today is, how are we going to live as individuals in this age? How are we going to live? Right? Because since the dawn of time, you know, we all know that change is inevitable. Change is always going to happen. In fact, the only thing that will always be constant is change. Change will always happen. But it's not our job to, also change as human beings. It's not our jobs to just kind of adapt ourselves to the thing for a moment. And then when the thing leaves, we try to restructure ourselves again. Our job as humans is to live at such a time like this, is to exist and make an impact, right? So what we are looking at today is one of such solutions as to how we can live as human beings, as to how we can live as individuals in such a great change, such a great time as this. And one answer that we can present, there are a plethora of options that you can choose. There's no right or wrong answer, but one option that we can choose from is leadership. And so that brings me to my topic for our discussion for today, which is leadership, right? Leadership in the age of AI, impactful leadership in the age of AI and automation, impactful leadership in the age of AI and automation. You know, whenever the idea of leadership is mentioned, there are a lot of things that come in mind. People tend to think about someone who has a position. People tend to think about someone who has a title or someone who has power. All these things can be certain indicators that show that someone is a leader. But real leadership doesn't exist. These are not the pillars that hold leadership. The real pillar of leadership is influence. How are you influencing the people around you? How are you positively impacting the people around you? That is what leadership stems from. Leadership actually stems from that direction. And so, in that case, you and I can realize that one way or the other, we have a certain level of influence over a certain level of people, whether around us, from our friends to our family members, in our relationships, at our workplaces, classmates, roommates, whoever. We have a certain level of influence over people. That goes to say that you and I are actually leaders. We are actually supposed to lead the people around us. So, how are we leading? The question is, how are we leading in such a time like this, in such a great change as it's going on right now in AI and automation and a whole lot of things? How are we going to live? How are we going to lead our lives? How are we leading? How are we impacting the people around us? Right? How are we going to do this? Because leadership is one of the ways that we can impact people, influence people positively. History is a very good lesson to this, that leaders have made bad and good choices all over the place. And it's because of their choices that has led the world to where it is now. And so for you to make a positive impact in the world that you are in right now, you have to make sure that you are making positive impact. You are leading with a positive influence in the kind of sphere that you find yourself, whether you are at your workplace, whether you are in part of an organization, whether you are by yourself in a family. Make sure you are making positive impact. And so let's look at it. How are we going to make these impacts? How are we going to lead at such a time like this? How are we going to do that? I'll use myself as an example. You know, I was born and raised in West Africa, specifically Ghana. And, you know, growing up in Ghana, staying with my parents, with my younger brother, my parents would always advise me on certain things. They are the first two people who had influence on me. They will always advise me on certain things, always giving me advice one way or the other on something. But I vividly remember they always give a particular advice to me regarding any wrong thing that I do, or whenever I make a bad choice, a bad decision, or I take a wrong action. There is this particular advice that they always give me, which goes like this: be careful of what you are doing, because your younger brother will follow suit. They always tell me that I have to be careful of the kind of decisions, the actions that I'm doing as a person, because anything that I do, my younger brother will follow suit. They were trying to tell me that I have this kind of influence over my young brother. And any action, any step that I take as a person, it is going to have a consequence on him. It's not just about myself. That is how leadership is. Whether you realize it or not, it's not about you understanding that, oh, I'm a leader or not having power, not having a title. But you just have to realize the fact that you have people that you can exert a certain level of influence through inspiration on, you are leading them. And so that brings me to my first point on leadership as individuals in such a time like this, is we have to lead by doing, not by talking. Leading by doing, but not by talking. It is very easy for you to talk and rant about something, but you actually will not do it, right? Everyone here would agree with me that there is this one person who will always come to you to tell you to do something, but they themselves are not partakers of it. They themselves are not doing the same thing that they are talking to you about. So the question is, as you are leading, the first thing, are you leading by doing or you are just talking? People are going to do what you are doing, not what you are saying. It is good to say certain things to people, but eventually it all boils down to what you are doing as a leader. When you have the capacity to influence people, what are the steps that you are taking? What are the decisions that you are taking? So you have to realize that for any action and any decision that you are taking, it is not just about you. It is about the people that you are influencing. It is about the people that you are leading. You have to be very cognizant of it. You have to think through it, ponder on it, because you know that the influence and the consequence is going to spread on every single person that you have influence over, whether you realize it or not. You have to make sure that you do what you are saying, not just saying it. Whatever you preach as an individual, whatever you preach as a leader, make sure at such a time like this, you are always doing it. Because guess what? People can just find any sort of information from wherever. They can get any form of information. But for them to actually be influenced to do something positive, they have to see you do it. Then they will emulate it. Then they will practice what you are doing, not just what you are saying. Because information is abundant, knowledge is all over the place. But how are you leading with your actions? That is my first point. The second is for you to influence people, for you to impact people positively, for you to lead people in a positive direction. You have to value them, value people. For you to add value to people, you have to value them. You have to hold them to a certain value as you value yourself. And this form of value is not you placing like a price tag on your friends or the people around you. Like, oh, this my friend is worth $2 million. This person is worth 1.5 million. This my best friend is worth $7 to $8 million. No, that's not an instrumental value. We are talking of a form of value that you realize that people are just like you. Anything that you are doing to them, you feel it first, you go through it first, you realize first that people are just like you. You don't treat people with disdain and just assume that people are nobody. For you to influence people positively, you have to make sure you are impacting them by valuing who they are. You have to value them the same way that you value yourself. The same way that you value yourself, you have to value other people. You can't trivialize people. You can't look at people, look down on people. You have to exercise empathy. You have to exercise kindness, mercy on people because you realize that they are exactly as you. That is one way that you can begin to live at such a time like this. Robots don't have emotions. It's human beings. Artificial intelligence doesn't have a conscience, doesn't have a soul, doesn't have emotions and will like you and I do. So the people that you have influence over are going to be just like you. So you have to consider what they are going through. You have to understand that people have tough times. Whatever bad thing that you are going through, whatever miserable thing that you are going through, whatever sad thing that you are going through, you have to realize that people are going through exactly the same thing or even worse. So you have to consider them. You have to make sure you put yourself in their shoes. But you can't do that until you start valuing the people that you have influence over. So number one, you have to lead by doing. And number two, you have to make sure that you value people, the people around you, you value them. You hold them so close. You hold them to a high esteem. You don't just trivialize them as anything. How do we go about with this? You have to realize that human beings are not chat boxes. Human beings are not large language models. There is not like a price tag to human beings, or it's not like a chat GPT where you can just go to them, ask whatever you want, get whatever you want, and then put them on the shelf put them on the side, you come back to them wherever you need them, and then you just throw them away. That is not how you lead at such a time like this. People can get whatever they want at any time that they want, but it is the value, the connection that you have with them, how much you value, how much you care about them, that will show how much you can influence and lead them positively. I'm sure many of us have heard this quote before, that people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. You can't lead people, you can't influence people positively until you get to the point where you value them. You get to a point where you put them so close to you because you realize that they are just like you. They go through things the same way that you go through. And finally, how do we live at such a time like this? How do we influence at such a time like this? How do we make impact at such a time like this? It's by adding value to ourselves, growing, upgrading ourselves, updating our operating system all the time. Imagine with me for a second that you have an apple plant. So you've planted an apple, and just at the point where this apple tree is supposed to bear fruits, is supposed to bring out fruits for people around to, benefit and enjoy from this fruit, the apple tree just stops growing. What will you consider that tree to be? It's either going to be useless, it's either going to be not important or not relevant, right? The same thing applies. You cannot give what you don't have. You can't lead people if you don't have anything of value to offer to them. That is why you have to go back and upgrade yourself all the time, day in, day out. You have to keep upping your game. You have to step up every single time. Every career field that you are in, you have to keep learning every single thing. Be flat out fantastic about whatever that you are doing. Be exceptional at whatever that you are doing by going over and over on your skill, putting in the effort, trying to add value to yourself so that you can have something to give to people whenever they come close to you. At a point in time, people will realize that whenever they get close to you, whenever your influence is exerted on them, they tend to have and feel a form of transformation so that they can also carry on the chain to also lead other people. That's how it is. You have to keep stepping up your game, adding value to yourself, becoming better each day, growing as an individual, growing as a person, increasing in value, increasing in whatever field that you are supposed to be in. As a leader, you always have to get something. This is not a call for you to stand out to be perfect. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's a call for you to always have something positive, have something good, have something meaningful to offer the people around you, to give to the people around you, to influence and transform their lives one way or the other. That is how we lead at such a time like this. People can easily get whatever they want, but for them to experience real impactful influence, it comes by you having something good, a quality that you can offer to them, something exceptional that they cannot get anywhere else. Whenever they are around you, they kind of gain something. They kind of glean from the wisdom that you have. How do we do this? Is there a new skill that you have to learn? Go back and learn it. Do you want to upgrade? Is there something that you think you need to read? Go back and read it. Is there something that you need to learn as an individual? Qualities that you need to learn. You have to learn from your failures. You have to come back again whenever you fall. Come back again with something new, with a lesson learned, so that you can step up your game to become better and better each day. You have to form meaningful relationships. So as you form these meaningful relationships, you tend to grow because you learn from other people. So anytime you step out there and you have the opportunity to lead, the time comes for you to make an impact, influence someone positively. You would always have something ready to share. You always have something ready to present to people. So to put it all together, how are you leading at such a time like this? You have to lead by action. You lead by action. You have to lead by valuing people. Value the people around you. There is no price tag to anyone. The value of human beings are not instrumental. It is not something that you use, you drop off, and you go your way. That is not how it is. We are invaluable. So you have to see the person that you are influencing the same way. You have to value them. And then finally, as I said, add value to yourself constantly. Make sure all the time you are stepping up your game. Have something relevant and valuable to offer every single time you come around people. Every single time you are presented with the opportunity to lead among your friends, in your family, in your relationship, at your workplace, at your school, whatever sphere, whatever realm that you find yourself in, make sure you have something impactful, something positive to offer the people around you. And then I'll challenge you in this regard. Is there something that you need to learn? Is there something that you need to upgrade yourself in? Is there something that you need to come in contact with so that you can grow as an individual? From now onwards, try to build yourself, try to upgrade your version, try to stay consistent with the times so that you can have something meaningful, so that you will not be outdated. You will always have something meaningful to share with people. Thank you so much. We will go over the questions and then answer the questions and get to see your comments and whatever that you have. Thank you so much. All right. So the first question is, how should leaders help equip the people they are serving from a technical skills perspective to be positioned for success as AI and automation continue to evolve? So going back to what I just said, as a leader, you have to always have something valuable to offer. So if you are in a domain where there is, let's say, a technical skill in demand, so the truth is, as you begin your career journey, you are always going to start with tasks. So you are accomplishing this, you are doing that, you are doing this. As you step up your game, you will no longer be leading or be completing tasks. You'll be leading people to do those tasks. So you have to be able to add value. You have to be able to present something. So as the leader, you have to make sure you know what you're about to share with the people. Where are you leading them to? Any leader is casting a vision on the people. So how are you influencing them with whatever thing that you have? What value do you have? So as AI and automation begins to evolve, certain skill sets will need to be relearned again. Certain skill sets will need to be emphasized again. So as the leader, make sure you are on top of your game. Make sure every single time you are on top of your game, you have something relevant to offer the people. When they come to you, they know that it doesn't mean that you always have an answer, but it means that you always have something valuable that you can communicate to them. Even if you don't know the answer, you have a resource that you can point them to. And that resource will be very valuable to them so that every person who is part of the team or the community will step up their game and accomplish that vision that you are casting on them. So very, very significant. You have to make sure that you are stepping up your game. You are upgrading. You are keeping consistency with whatever is the trend. That's why I love the quote that is on top of the flyer so much by BDPA, which says that innovation in motion, keeping pace with emerging trends. As things keep emerging, as a leader, you have to make sure you are in touch with what is going on in a world as AI is evolving every now and then. Knowledge is all over the place. So you have to be credible. You have to have something that when people come to you, you'll be able to offer them. How will they come to you? If they can go to ChatGPT and get the answer, so let me put it this way. If the person that you are leading can go to Claude, can go to ChatGPT to get the answer that you are giving them, what is the additional value that AI can give them that you are giving them? That is the better way to put it. What is something that you can offer them when they come to you? What is one thing that you can add to them that any chat box or large language model will not be able to give them? What is that thing that you have to give them? That is what you have to consider. And also going back, you have to take the actions and value the people that you are leading. And that, I think, will be a good way to lead in such a time like this, when you are in a domain that is dominated with a skill set. All right. Are there any resources you recommend to help leaders step up their game in this space? Absolutely. So, as a leader, one beautiful quote that almost every leader has heard at one point in their life, and I recommend everyone paying close attention to, is leaders are readers. Right? Leaders are readers. You have to constantly read, and I would recommend um, John C. Maxwell. Very fascinating and amazing leader that I personally constantly learn from. Get his books. Always keep up with the pace of reading. Have something valuable to offer. Read. Be updated. So if there is a domain that you are in, let's say you are in a data science field, and all you do is um, keep yourself updated, keep yourself abreast with latest information, latest skill sets. You always have something valuable to offer. But the other important thing that I want to add to you reading is leaders, very good leaders. So leaders are readers, but very exceptional leaders are listeners. Very, very exceptional leaders, they listen. It's very easy for you to speak. It's very easy for you to talk. Talking is very cheap, but listening is very, very difficult. A lot of people that you are leading today, you have to consider them to be people who have emotions, who are going through certain things that you are going through. So for you to lead them to a very good place, you have to have this empathy to listen to them. People want to be heard. You are always talking all the time. Give people the opportunity to talk to you. You listen to them, you put yourself in their shoes, and make sure you help them grow out of whatever situation that they are in. That is one fascinating thing about great leaders. They always listen. They are not just talking, they have something valuable to communicate every single time. But they are able to listen to what people are also bringing. Because it's very easy for you to be caught up in the system, and you'll be doing a process over and over again, but you are actually not listening to the people that you are leading. So have empathy and listen to people around you. I think that's um, the second question. Is there any other question? All right. Yeah. So, thank you so much. That was a very awesome discussion. It's been very exciting. As I said, I'm also learning and progressing in this journey as every single person. So, I I will urge every single one of us to you know um, step into the arena and lead the people around us. But we can lead only when we take action. We can lead only when we value people, and we can lead only when we have some value to communicate and add to people. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll see you next time.
Thank you again to God Bless for coming through and dropping some gems on us around impactful leadership. If I had to sum it all up, I think that regardless of where we're at in our AI and automation journey, leadership comes down to valuing people. So at the core of all we do as leaders, we have to have people at the forefront, and make sure that we're valuing them. So that way we can set them up for success. So leaders are readers. I heard God Bless say that. So definitely get those books. From John C. Maxwell was a recommendation from God Bless. BDPA has a lot of information out here and opportunities around AI and building your skills. Like, come to that conference, look up other tech conferences and things, so that we have the skill sets we need to lead the people that we're called to serve. So, thank you, God Bless. That was great. I'm glad to have you with us today. To everyone who's tuning in, hey, share this with someone. You heard the conversation now, and you know someone who needs to hear it. So, share this with someone who needs to hear this conversation, so we can continue to spread this knowledge, and keep advancing careers from the classroom to the boardroom. So we will be back on June 12th with Ms. Lauren Brown, who is the founder and IP and AI strategist for LRB Global Consulting Services. And she'll be talking about intellectual property protection and the legal, ethical, and responsible use of AI in your business. So if you have IP out there and you're trying to think through how do I keep that safeguarded, and protected, especially as AI continues to evolve, and we have all these deep fakes and everything. Join that next talk. That's going to be a great one with Lauren Brown, talking about how we protect our IP, because that's our bread and butter. IP is everything. So hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching today. Until next time, stay safe and stay blessed. We'll see you soon.